paralegal, and I don't think your material and substantial interference rationale will hold up in court. So I hope this case winds up in court, and I hope you lose. Thank you.
Thank you so much. After Mr.
Lawmakers, they've moved to nearly a tenfold on the pay, giving appointed trustees voting rights in 2027, and then shifting 6 Ccsd charters to state control. That's massive reshuffling of power, and parents deserve to know how that benefits students, not just the system. Teachers matter, but accountability matters too. Right now, this is progress that you have a 94.4% of a retention rate for the school district. I'll give you that. But morale, culture, and trust are not fixed by the money alone. This Charlie Kirk incident right now showed us how fragile trust really is. I do support free speech, but as an educator, you have a higher standard. Teachers hold influence over impressionable kids, and with that influence comes responsibility. And I did see an initial response, and I was glad with it. But I do understand also that you're withheld by certain contracts by the CCEA union, and therefore you will end up in litigation and those appropriations against it, so it will cost you and cost this community. I understand that. But the fact is that at one time, inappropriate conversations with students would get you fired. Now, those same conversations get defended as free speech. It's a nice conflation, but it's not a truth, and you all know the difference. And that goes for everyone in this room as well as on the board. This is a very dangerous line to blur. So to be fair on all sides, publish clear standards for what counts as a substantial disruption for your teachers. Report how many of these staff were reassigned, and apply the consequences fairly and consistently, no matter the politics, whether it leans left or right. And in the future, the problem inside here is because we have 7,910 square miles managed by one board. It's a problem. Break up the CC.
Thank you so much. After
Vegas for 18 years. I work at Shark Reef Aquarium in Mandalay Bay in the education department. As a candidate for Nevada State Assembly District 16 next year, after running last year when I got 665 votes or 27% of the vote, I realize the importance of free speech. I may not agree with what someone else will say, but they have a right to say it. And they have the same right to say what I think. That's important to me as an individual. What we need to do is we need to be fair to these teachers. What they did may not have been exactly correct. However, they were exercising their right of free speech. We have to consider that as we move forward. Our country is under attack, and it's coming from within. It is coming from the authority of the nation's capital. And I will not say this person's name. This person is not held accountable for anything that they say. Then why is it that these school teachers are held accountable for what they said? It has to be a two-way street. I'm going to close my comments on this. As a proud progressive Democrat, a U.S. Air Force veteran, a college graduate, and a fully transitioned trans woman, I understand how hate speech can hurt. Let's stand up and please give these teachers their jobs back. Thank you.
Thank you. And I appreciate the audience, how you respect differences.
I now have 2 children who are doing the same. I'm confused as to the question of why now? Why now have teachers been removed from classrooms when we already have a teacher shortage? Why would they have been removed from classrooms for sharing their personal opinions on their personal platforms when the district has never served similar consequences to those in the past who have expressed horrible, hateful views about COVID or Black Lives Matter or the LGBTQ community? You know that they have existed in the past. Your staff has made comments that are horrible, even about George Floyd when that all happened. And nothing was done. Nobody monitored at that point. So why now? And I believe it's because you're being pressured by the current people in power. Nevada News and Views is the one who put out the article and named the person in power who's pushing forward for your agenda. So I don't envy any of you for being put in that position with trying to maintain public education in the 5th largest school district during these kinds of times, but I didn't ask for your position either. You did. And there are still more people than not who believe in the First Amendment and all that it stands for. In reinstating these teachers who did not force their views within classrooms or to children, but did it in their own entitled space, they should be back in classrooms. And I'm sure there will be consequences to you not reinstating them or consequences for reinstating them. But your job is to do the best thing for the students, families, and your staff by the laws set in place to guide your decision. You will be setting a precedent with your decision. And I promise you, we will have your back for choosing the right one, which is to protect the First Amendment for everyone here. Also mentioned in that same article that rallied everyone here today was the call for school choice. So you know the long...
Thank you, Ms. Phoenix. You could give your...
Investigation and corruption on this district, but I'm changing the topic. This is not a free speech issue, it's a conduct issue. When school teachers, leaders of school children, in public applaud and cheer the killing, the murder, the political assassination of an innocent man, that school teacher signals to vulnerable students that it's okay to kill, to murder, to assassinate innocent people. That's the conduct that is unforgivable. And in defense of our trustees that are being blamed for doxing, nobody was doxed. Their addresses were not released. So that takes care of that. And I'd like to ask, how would those defending the unprofessional conduct of these transgressive teachers feel if it was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez who was gunned down by a zealous right-wing assassin and you had school teachers applauding her murder? I don't think you'd feel the same. It's bad conduct. It must be punished. Thank you.
Mr.
A few years ago on New Year's Eve, I found myself talking to my cousin's son. He was a junior at Rancho High School, and he was telling me about his social studies teacher. Just out of the blue here, he was telling me what a great teacher he was, the facts about government and history that totally blew his mind, and how his teacher treated them like sentient beings, not stupid children. That's really cool, I said. Yeah, he said, Mr. Coles is cool. I smiled in surprise and texted Mr. Coles to let him know the impact he was having. The other day, a friend of mine told me to mention Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken. In the dreaded run-up to this meeting, I began to personify those roads. I've begun to see them as the road of courage and the road of cowardice. The road of courage is a hard road. It is full of truth and wisdom. It scoops people out of ditches and lifts them up on its shoulders. It protects the vulnerable when the road of cowardice intersects. The road of cowardice only cares about getting to its end, about pleasing the masters who ride it. It throws the vulnerable under the wheels of the powerful whose vehicles straddle the lanes. The road of cowardice wants to survive. The road of courage wants to go places. I've come to realize that Ccsd was built on the road of cowardice. Robert Coles has traveled the road of courage all
Can you
his
stop
life.
for a second? Just pause her.
What's going on?
Yes, no, I just refrain from using CCSD staff's names. That would be helpful.
Oh,
Yeah.
somebody else used it.
Yep, and my
And I
parliamentarian person here is catching me and reminding me to make sure that we follow our guidelines. So she's catching me.
Okay.
So I'm not. I'm giving you your time. keep going. You have,
But you
5
interrupted
minutes.
her.
5
She was
seconds,
almost
but I
done.
won't
You have
do
5
that.
seconds
I
left.
had this discussion with my daughter earlier
So
today.
hold on.
Okay.
Keep going.
Now he's dealing with an onslaught of hate, and people who run his district are eyeing how to figure out how to throw him under the bus. It is shameful. It is not unexpected.
Thank you, Ms. Kaufman. I appreciate
There you go.
After.
My name is Alan Hines. I'm a member of Surge, Las Vegas, and I'm speaking today as an individual. While most of us cannot recite all of the amendments of the U.S. Constitution, the majority of us know that the First Amendment clearly states our right to freedom of speech. As such, it is our duty to defend not only our own right, but the right of all individuals to legally express their thoughts and opinions. Teachers should not be retaliated against for legal public comments made outside of contract teaching time. Just as Charlie Kirk should not have been assassinated for his racial, political, and religious views, or Jimmy Kimmel suspended from broadcast based on his criticisms of our president. Tolerance should be exercised in all cases. I was made aware of one of the comments made by one of the teachers who was removed from his classroom. I found his comment to be personally appalling. But I also realized that I would not have heard or seen that comment if not for the doxing done by a Moms of Liberty member and shared by 2 school board trustees. This action was inappropriate, and I understand that it's also illegal. Broadcasting teacher personal information that helps or encourages others to find them, challenge them, or harm them is blatantly wrong. At a time when we are greatly in need of teachers, I feel we need to do all that we can to keep the ones that we have. The board needs to give all teachers the support they need. Sometimes this might require an intervention to explore their mental or emotional state, and maybe an assignment to a sensitivity session would be in order.
Thank you so much. And